Yeah. Okay.
I think we're
Yeah.
missing one
Well,
person there.
yes, sir.
Are we missing one person there?
Yeah. That's what I'm just. Yeah, he has joined.
Okay.
He's joining. Yeah.
So
Everyone joined?
we
Yeah.
can have the Zoom recording also and the continuous process.
Zoom recording?
Instead of this break session, these sessions are 3 sessions of Zoom.
No, I'm not.
Suppose we pay.
Suppose?
Suppose we pay.
Yeah.
900 rupees.
Okay.
And get a Zoom meeting. We can go on and on. And that will be recorded by. And we'll get recorded. So every session we can even plan it well in advance.
Okay, sir. Okay, we will discuss it. We will discuss it in Telegram, sir. After this, we'll plan for tomorrow. Yeah. Now I think everyone is on board. Yeah, we'll start. Okay. Now, how we are going to plan your book? This we have already seen. Now I want to just tell you few. Another take-home message today is, so when you are having if you are not able to plan properly, I would like to, you can ask any help from any of your seniors or someone who has already published. Okay. Assume that you are asking help from a mentor. So when you are asking for a help, please be open and tell the proper facts to the person you are asking help. Please don't hide some facts and which will lead to wrong advice. Usually people, I have seen lots of people, they will come and ask vague questions, and I will just be answering to that question. Problem is, say, someone who wants to publish a poetry book, he will not tell that it is a poetry book. Or someone who wants to publish a history book will not tell exactly. So when so if you are going to ask advice, 2 points is, please be very clear as to what book you are trying to publish, or ask the advice in a very early stage itself. Okay. Usually I am getting many manuscripts which have been 80%, 90% completed, and then they are going to plan ahead. It is going to be waste of time. So if there is any problem, you can always ask someone who is already in the field, but ask quite early. That is one important point. Second is, when you are writing a non-fiction, you decide the audience. Okay, whether you are going to write for a technical people, whether it is going to write for a lay people, or whether you are going to write for the ultimate beneficiary. Now, what is the difference between a lay people and ultimate beneficiary is, suppose you are going to write, especially this difference has to be there in the healthcare. Okay. So suppose you are going to write on a child health. The ultimate beneficiary is the children, but the book is supposed to be read more by the parent than the children. So this clarity has to be there. Or suppose if there's a patient with paraplegia, if you want to write a book on, say, paraplegia, or on pregnancy, or whatever be the matter, there are certain places where the ultimate beneficiary and the lay people will be different. And if in the topic of your book, if the ultimate beneficiary and the common man is a different one, you have to be very clear whom you are trying to address. The book which is going to benefit someone need not be always addressed to someone. So this clarity has to be there, especially in non-fiction, so that once if you are very clear, then how you are going to structure the chapters, how you are going to frame the sentences will be different. And then you decide whether why you are going to write the book. Are you going to write for educate someone, or are you going to write to promote yourself? There's nothing wrong in self-promotion, but or are you going to do the both? Okay, I am very, very open. All my books also have an element of self-promotion. There is nothing to be ashamed about it, but we should have that clarity when we write. That is, part of the book should not be purely educative, and then another part of the book should not be only for self-promotion, something like that. If you are going to do both, every chapter should convey the theme. Another common problem which people have regarding the non-fiction book is where to place the references. Whether you are going to place the reference at the end of the page, which we call it as footnote, or whether you are going to place the reference at the end of the chapter or at the end of the book, or are you going to give the references as a free text inside the book itself. So why this is important is we should have a uniformity so that the flow will not be affected. Some people, after writing writing half the book, you should not have confusion for this. And then what is the type of reference you are going to place? Are you just going to give the reference title article and move on, or are you going to explain it? Everything can be done. There is no hard and fast rule what you have to do. The only point I am stressing is you need to think about it well in advance, plan for it, and then you execute it in a uniform way. Second is, so okay, you want to write a book. You don't know what is your first chapter. You don't know what is your last chapter. Or you even don't know what are the chapters. Don't worry. First, you try to write as many chapters as you like. You can write the 5th chapter, 7th chapter, 2nd chapter, 12th chapter, anything. You write as many chapters as you like. Then, when you have 6, 8 to 10 chapters, you can a book will be visible to you. An outline will be there. At that point, you sit down, you make a skeleton. What are the topics to be covered in this book? Okay. Then what will be the parts of the book? What will be the sections of the book? What will be the chapters of the book? You make a skeletal framework. Now, after making the skeletal framework, you will find that some chapter does not fit into it. Remove it and save it. You can always use it for the next book. So come on, you are only writing it in your laptop. I suppose today, I don't think anyone is going to write in the paper. Even if you're writing in the paper, you save it, don't worry. And the next challenge will come. What is if some chapter is too short? If the chapter is too short, you can always expand it. Now, what happens when one chapter is very, very long as compared to other chapters? Very simple. You have to do two things. First is you have to shorten it. Second is you have to expand it. And you use the shortened form for this book and publish the expanded form as the next book. Very, very easy and practical tip is this. If you have some chapters very long, don't worry about it. You got the next book also ready. Then after writing the books, you take a printout in the same size of book. This is very important. Suppose you are publishing it in A5 size, take printout in A5 size, not in A4. And then you read it yourself. Only if you are reading the book in the same size of paper and same font and same size of font, you will get the proper idea. If you are reading it in a different size, you may not get a proper idea. Then you edit it again. You remember, you are removing, don't worry when you are removing something from the book. Whenever you are removing something from your book, you are going to serve two purposes. First is you are making this book slick and easily readable. Second is you are making the next book easy to read because you can use this portions for the next book. So that is about non-fiction. Any doubt about non-fiction, you can ask, we can discuss, and then we'll proceed to fiction.
No, this is fine. It's a good explanation.
Yeah. Others? Any doubt?
Bruno, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
So, hi, Suman here.
Yeah.
So, is there a specific size for chapters? You have published both online and offline. Has it come down? Attention span has come down, something like that. Do you find any difference?
No, different.
முன்னாடி வெறும் ஆஃப்லைன்ல எழுதுனதுக்கும் இப்போ ஆன்லைன்ல எழுதுறதுக்கும் எதுவும் வித்தியாசம் இருக்கா? I mean, is there an approximate size for these chapters? Whatever
Yeah,
you write?
sir. Basically, any chapter which is more than 10 minutes, people will get bored.
Okay.
To be frank, attention span has come down. I think Shukla sir is the best person to explain about this. Not for book, for anything, for classrooms, books, anything. The attention because you got too many distractions these days. Okay. Now, previously you have got say say 1985. If you maybe have got only 2,000 messages per day. Today you are getting 10,000 messages per day. I am telling that from morning you go, wake up, you go to your work and come back. The sensory inputs is exaggerated by 5 to 6 times today, online, offline. So attention span definitely has come down, but we cannot help it. So in this scenario, how you are going to make the person read your book is the challenge. That is where planning the book properly, making it slick, giving diagrams, then arranging the chapters in such a way that the person is supposed to read the next chapter, all become important.
So, இப்போ நானே பார்க்கறதுக்கு so some of the books which are very famous books ஒரு 200-300 பேஜ் இருக்குன்னா it now comes as appsல பார்த்தீங்கன்னா சும்மா ஒரு பேஜ் 2 பேஜ்ல போட்டு போறாங்க. That sells well.
There is always a different audience. Okay, now some people will want to read the full books. Every book there are YouTube channels which summarize every book in the 3 to 5 minutes audios. Some people listen only that. Some people will listen that audio and then read the book.
Yeah, so my mind goes on to whether I should write a book or a blog.
No, you write both. That is the point. You first write a blog, then you compile the blog and publish it as a book.
Okay. Nice.
That's what. Okay, can we move to the fiction? Okay, anyway, all of you, how many of you is planning to write non-fiction and how many of you is planning to write fiction? Or how many of you is planning to write both?
Fiction.
So I'm planning to write both.
Yeah, very good. Others?
Fiction. Myself.
Fiction. Loganathan sir? Sudarshini? Cynthia madam? Sendil sir?
I plan to write both. I have written both, but then see, it depends on the target audience, sir. Bruno, sir.
Yes.
The target audience matters a lot.
Yes,
suppose we write health books, it depends on established brand publishers. See, the content will be very good, but the brand publishers are dominating the industry. So I hope you will also agree.
I know. Okay, now we'll quickly look up at the next part and finish it. So now coming to the fiction part, essentially I want to tell this part. Okay, fiction, you can write anything. You can write poetry, you can write short stories, you can write whatever part is different. But when you come to writing history as fiction, there's a spectrum between history and fiction, which many people are missing. Okay. So what is history is, history is recording news accurately with no imagination. That is history. What is historical fiction is, can be a fiction based on history as recorded in documents, or a fiction based on history with few documents and more oral stories, or a fiction based on historical events but author does not change known history. These three are only called as historical fictions. And fiction based on historical events and author changes events for sake of interest is pure fiction, and fiction based on historical characters is pure fiction. So if you are planning to write something based on history, you have to be very clear which genre you are going to write. For example, there is only one history book in Tamil, the contemporary history book, and only this is the only history book in Tamil. I will explain others. For example, you take this book, An Officer and a Spy. This is based on, actually, it is based on a very famous incident called Dreyfus Affair. I would recommend all of you to read this. That is, anyone wanting to write fiction, because they had taken the original documents and just added a few areas of imagination. Rest will be from original itself, but it will be still interesting. Another book is The Eagle Has Landed. This is also a fiction based on documents, but there is more imagination than the earlier one. Few other books, The Gods, Kings and Slaves or Sullikati Idihasam, are also based on real events. The author does not change history. Coming to other things where the author changes events for sake of interest, you have got two well-known examples. And this is fiction based on historical characters. This is not history, actually. So once you have this clarity, then you can plan for parts, sections, chapters well in advance, and try to give equal or near equal space for topics in the books. And flow of languages is more important than fiction in non-fiction. You can ask further doubts now or in Telegram group, and we'll clarify in the tomorrow's session. Okay. Any doubts?
For a medical information related book,
yes, sir.
What should we say the length of the book? How many pages? Say, for example, I'm using A5 size as a standard size.
Yes.
What would you say? And if it is about a single disease, let us say autism or ADHD.
100 pages, sir.
100. Okay.
That's okay. 100. For example, now autism means you are going to talk to the parents.
Yeah.
Parents, it should be only 100 pages, sir. Above it, for example, if you are going to write an autism book for the, say, paramedics, therapist and all, that can be 300, 500 pages. Because they will read once, then whenever they have a doubt, they will read that particular chapter. When you are writing for a technical people, they will read the book once, then whenever they want, they will read the chapters. Now, for parents, the introductory book ideally should be 100 pages. And in that, you can give reference for further books. Those who are interested can read it.
Yeah. Okay. And I like your idea that if one chapter is getting too long, you convert it to next book.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So this is based on what I have been doing, sir. Okay. So essentially, why this workshop is, because there are lots of workshops where people will teach you to write. But writing is only one part of publishing. Publishing, there is entirely a different science, which I found out is not yet covered by anyone else. So I thought we'll have an workshop so that this will serve as a resource material, at least for people who want to see it in future. Okay. Any other doubt, or can we finish it off? We'll meet tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Thank you, bro.
Okay, thank you. Can we close the meeting?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.